Hello and welcome to a new math tutorial with me, Serena. So today we'll be learning how to sketch linear equations on the graph. This is my first ever YouTube tutorial, so I hope you enjoy and I hope it's also helpful. So let's start with the first equation. Linear equations, we must find the y and the x-intercept. So for the first equation we have y equals 2x plus 1. Well, to find out the x-intercept we must say when y equals 0, then we substitute that 0 into the equation. So the equation is now 0 equals 2x plus 1. Now we rearrange the equation to make x the subject, meaning that minus 1, because it's flipped to the other side, minus 1 plus the 0, which I haven't done, okay I have, minus 1 plus the 0 equals 2x, which makes minus 1 or 2x equals minus 1 or minus 1 equals 2x. Rearrange that to make x the subject, which is minus a half. Now we have to find out the y-intercept by saying if x equals 0. Now we have to substitute that x into the equation, therefore meaning y equals 2 multiplied by 0 plus 1. So when we do that, that becomes y equals 0 plus 1, therefore meaning that y equals 1. From the calculations we have found out both the y and the x-intercepts of the equation y equals 2x plus 1. So from that we can plot the coordinates when y equals 0, x equals minus half, and when x equals 0, y equals 1 on the graph. I'm writing example 1 there so you don't get confused. So now, starting off with example 2. So the equation for example 2 is y equals 2x plus 3. Just like last time, to find the x-intercept we say when y equals 0, if y equals 0, substitute that y equals 0 into the equation, therefore meaning 0 equals 2x plus 3. Then we can rearrange the equation to make x the subject. So when the 3 flips onto the other side, it changes sign, so minus 3 minus 3 equals 2x, or 2x equals minus 3, it's the same thing. Rearrange that to find x by itself, therefore meaning that x equals minus 3 over 2, or minus 3 halves, which equals the same as minus 1.5. So we found the coordinates. Now to find the coordinates of the y-intercept, we will say when x equals 0, and then substitute that into the equation. So y equals 2 multiplied by 0 plus 3. So y equals 0 plus 3, therefore meaning y is 3. Now we found the coordinates of the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So we can now plot these on the graph. I ended up plotting the example 2 on the same graph as example 1, but I thought that you couldn't see it very well, so I ended up plotting a different graph. I apologize if the camera is moving. So we plot that there. Quickly drawing a different graph so you can see it more clearly. Example 3 is a bit different to the other equations. So sometimes questions can ask you to draw the line of these type of equations, and what you have to do is you have to convert them into a y equals mx plus c equation before trying to find the y and the x-intercept. And to do this, you have to make y the subject. The equation that we have is 2x plus 2y equals 6. So to rearrange it, we say 2y equals 6 minus 2x. Now, to find y, you have to divide 6 minus 2x over 2, which is the same as saying minus 2x plus 6 divided by 2. When we simplify this, it gives us y equals minus x plus 3. So now that we've got this equation, we can do exactly the same thing that we did for example 1 and for example 2. So saying when y equals 0 and what it would be for x and what y would be when x equals 0. So when y is 0, or if y is 0, substitute the 0 into the equation. So 0 equals minus x plus 3. Rearrange x to make it a subject. We don't want a negative x, we want a positive x, so x equals 3. When x equals 0, y equals minus 0 plus 3, therefore meaning y equals 3. So we've got the coordinates for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So now we can plot these coordinates on the graph. So the coordinates are 3, 0 and 0, 3. And it's from the equation 2x plus 2y equals 6 that we converted to a y equals mx plus c. So y equals minus x plus 3. Here are some questions for you to try out. You can pause the video to try out the questions and then unpause to see the answers and the solution to the questions. The equation for the first question is y equals 2x minus 3. So to find x-intercept, you must say when y equals 0 and rearrange that to find x. So 0 equals 2x minus 3, therefore meaning that x equals 3 over 2. Now that you've got that, you can find out the y-intercept by saying when x equals 0, and then rearrange the equation, substitute that into the equation, and then rearrange the equation to find y. Therefore meaning that y equals minus 3. So the coordinates are 0 minus 3 and 2, 3 over 0. So the second equation is y equals 4x minus 8. So when y equals 0, x equals 8 divided by 4, which equals 2. And to find the y-intercept, sorry I didn't have enough space, but to find the y-intercept you must say x equals 0, substitute that, making y equals minus 8. For the third question, you have to do the same thing as the third example, so rearrange the equation to make y the subject because we want it as a y equals mx plus c equation. So when we rearrange it to make the y subject, we get what do we get? We get minus 2 over 3x plus 2. Now that we've done that, we can do exactly the same thing as the previous questions. So when y equals 0, substitute the 0 into the equation. So 0 equals minus 2 over 3x plus 2, which therefore gives us as x equals 3. And after that, you can find out the y-intercept by saying when x equals 0. So when x equals 0, y equals plus 2. So now that we've got the coordinates for each of those, I have drawn, or I will draw, a big graph and plot all of these coordinates on it. My lines are very wonky. So this is the line for y equals 2x minus 3, the line for y equals 4x minus 8, and the line for 4x plus 6y equals 12, which is the same as y equals minus 2 over 3x plus 2. It's a negative gradient because it's going that way, and a positive gradient will go in a positive direction. So this is the end of how to draw linear equations on a graph. I hope this was very helpful, and thumbs up if you liked. Bye.